Yo, what up? It's Bri Trilla, and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard.
Nowadays, these bitches sick and they gon' turn on you for dick. He be pouring out his heart, I just can't fall in love.
Alright, we got Bri Trilla jumping off the porch with us today.
What's up?
What's going on with you?
I feel good. I can't complain right now.
For sure, for sure. It's a pleasure to have you on the porch here with us today.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
No problem. So I see you got your members on the porch with you. Go ahead and let the world know who you rock with you today.
Pretty much right here is my whole team. I got like my day one right here, my everything, one of my producers, one of my road management teams, one of my girls, two of my girls, really, another partner from back my way, just rocking.
For sure.
So,
how does it feel to be able to travel city to city just out chasing your dream?
it feels amazing. Knowing from where I started from, it feels amazing. It's really like a dream come true. So it's like you just finally hitting that peak of where you supposed to be at. So it feels good.
No, for
It feels
sure.
real good.
So take us back to where you from originally.
Originally, I'm from a small town called Uvalde, Georgia. It's really, really, really small. No, it's nothing there. It's like one stop sign, literally, like one red light, and it's not even really a red light. It's like everybody know each other. There's no school, no restaurants, a lot of dirt roads, you know. But and then around the age of 8, I moved to a town called Baxley, Georgia, and ever since then I've been in Baxley. Baxley kind of the same. It's real small. Everybody know each other. A couple stop signs. Real deal country. You got cows and stuff out there where I'm from. It's like small
For sure.
neighborhood.
What can you detail about growing up in an area like that? Like,
For us, we were just really close, kind of like close where I come from. Like sports, everybody was competitive, kind of where we was at. It was more so like you felt like you was at home when you came. Like everybody treated each other like family. Like everybody know each other, so it's small. You probably grew up with people right now, like y'all still cool to this day, like, cause y'all parents knew each other. So it wasn't really a bad crime type of town. It was just small, like, and for me to have a passion for music is kind of like coming from where I come from, but you know, it's still possible.
for sure. So coming from that small town, how did you know you was gonna chase that big dream?
For me, I kind of look at myself as a genius because I knew I was gonna do this when I was like 11. So I just kept chasing it until I got it type time. I knew it was gonna come. I just knew I had to work harder and harder and harder and harder and harder to get where I'm at today, but I been knew I was gonna be here when I was a kid. I seen it all happening.
For sure.
Yeah.
Talk about your mother used to buying you instruments growing up.
Yeah, like around the age of like 10, 11, I knew I was gonna be into music because I used to buy like, my mom would buy me keyboards and I would go in there like make my own beats, learning how to play the piano. She'll buy me microphones. I'll learn how to record myself. Like back then, I think I was using like Mixcraft or whatever, but I was learning how to record. I grew up in a band, so I love playing different instruments. So she would always just fuel my passion for music. Like whatever I wanted as a kid, most kids want basketballs, but me, I want like instruments and guitars and stuff when I was a kid.
So at what point would you say you decided to jump off that porch?
I really say it was 2020 because like I had been rapping for a long, long time, and I went to college. Shout out to Fort Valley State University. And when I graduated college, I kind of like was in my, my young adult years. I was still doing music, but it was just like not as serious. And so in 2020, we had a young dude back from our way that used to rap, and he was going crazy and stuff. And so he passed away, and that really kind of like just catapulted me like, bro, let's go hard with it. So 2020, I dropped my first song on like all DSPs. And from there, it was just up for me. I just ain't never looked back.
Yeah.
Man.
For sure.
So talk about what it meant when your partner passed away.
For us, it was deep, because like when I say we like real deal, like manifested and built this up from the ground, it was deep, because he was one of the ones that was like going hard with it. Like we knew he was the one that was gonna make it out. So when he passed, it made us like, bro, we gotta pump it up, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no stopping now.
So talk about the release of Broadway.
When Broadway passed, that was around that time that he had passed away. So it was just one of them songs where I was just like, bro, I really gotta vent at this point and really just kind of show the world a new sound besides me, like, cause I always used to rap and stuff. So that was kind of the first times I ever like played with a melodic type of tone. And when I seen how it reached a lot of people, I was like, yeah, that's the one.
So how would you describe your creative process and your message to people?
Creatively, I like to just kind of really put myself in other people's shoes. You know what I'm saying? I kind of write a lot of times from third person point of view. Sometimes it's personal, but I'm a very observant type of person. So I look out and you see what's going on around the world. So why not touch on subjects that you know for sure somebody is going through? So I try to like be creative in that aspect, and also I'm a lyricist, so I like to play with bars and like be funny and witty with words and stuff, and kind of make it creative in a whole another world, like really real deal dig into that art of music.
For sure. What did it mean to open up For Dej Loaf in Waycross?
Around that time, that was like when I was really just like getting into like performing and stuff. So that was like one of my biggest performances around the time. And of course, opening for a person like Dej Loaf, it was cool. But that was like my biggest crowd at the time. It turned out really good. So it kind of just gave me that motivation, like, hey, keep going. So.
Talk about dropping your first mixtape, No Hard Feelings.
I didn't even really want to drop No Hard Feelings. He made me drop No Hard Feelings. I felt like No Hard Feelings was like mediocre. It was not ready. It wasn't ready. But I was just recording so much music, bro. It was just like, just drop it. You never know what's gonna come out of it. So I just put a whole bunch of songs that he really recorded, most of them, and we just put the tape out and just dropped it. And it got a lot of good feedback at the time. But that's like my only mixtape that I ever dropped.
So why is it getting taken down? Why did it get taken down? I mean,
cause at the time I wasn't as knowledgeable about the music business as I am now. So at the time when I was just dropping music and stuff, I didn't really know about like agreements and splits and all that stuff. Like now I'm just more wise. So, you know, just looking out for myself now for the future, you might want to make sure your ducks in a row before, you know, you jump out there. Cause now I'm getting to that point where I'm getting a little big. So, you know, you got to make sure things kind of lined up how they're supposed to be lined up.
That's
no
right.
lawsuits going on, you know what I'm saying?
So speaking of lawsuits, you took like, not necessarily a lawsuit, but an L, you know what I'm saying? But it was also a lesson learned.
Yeah, for sure. It was one of them, like I said, the mixtape was kind of like more like a local type of thing. So a lot of people don't even really know about those songs. So like, she from my hometown, so everybody was just playing that mixtape at the time, you know? But it was in my beginning stages too, so like, I don't really too much feel bad that it's taken down because it really went into me. I never wanted to drop it. Like, he made me put that tape out, so I was just like, shoot, I'll take it down.
For sure. So what lessons would you say you learned with No Hard Feelings that you applied to Trill Sexy Cool?
Trill Sexy Cool is all original. So it's just like, you ain't gotta worry about having no type of, is this beat good to drop? Is this beat clear? Because it really was like, he one of the main producers on Trill Sexy Cool. So it was one of the ones where we really was just in the studios grinding, like literally I drive like a half an hour to the studio, an hour and a half to the studio, and we cooking up from scratch, literally like from the beginning of the keyboard, making timeless music. And like my engineer, like his little basement, like we was just in there just making music. And the whole tape from start to scratch is like all original music, like straight up, written by me. So it's one that, it's more so of a precious type of situation too, like the whole thing was just original music.
How important was it for you to create from scratch?
For me, because I'm big on just being an artist, a really, really good artist, so I felt like if you can give the world something that's like really you from the bottom, like straight from the pot, you know what I'm saying? Then they can't do nothing but understand your artistry at that point because it's original, it's really you. So, and it has some really good messages in that tape too, like the whole tape from top to bottom. You could learn, you could relate to something on that tape for sure.
For sure. Talk about the time you were dealing with losing your father.
I lost my father at a time that was like crazy. COVID was going on like real bad, and I didn't see it coming. It was very much unexpected. Like it just hit me out of the blue, like no cap. But it hit me like super hard, and to this day I still battle with it. I got him on my necklace right now, but he died in 2021. But what's crazy, the last day I seen my dad was November 21st, 2021. And then I dropped the biggest song of my life, November 21st, 2022. So it's just like, I don't know, I just feel like he part of my journey right now. And he really like kind of like guiding me and showing me the ways. Like, so I don't know, I feel like he's still attached to me like to this day. Like, but it affected me like really, really hard. Cause now that I'm finally being able to reach my moment, he's not able to see it, so.
What's one thing you want the world to know about your father?
Man, my dad was like every girl's favorite dad, like literally, like every girl's favorite dad when it came down to just teaching you about boys, men in general. If it came down to teaching you about your credit, you know, school, education, like my dad was like superior dad, like all around the boards. And he was just like a great dad. I can't even say nothing bad about my dad at all. Like he was there every time. Like when he passed, my dad was really like the glue for me. So when he passed, life kind of really hit hard for me. But like my dad was A1. Like he was that guy for sure. And I also like an awesome granddaddy. Like my daddy was awesome, like for sure.
That's real. So talk about the success of Big Moves.
It's crazy now. I think it's like what, over 4 million maybe? I don't know, and that's just on Apple Music, so I don't even know. I think it's like, it's up there, but the success of it has been crazy. I didn't think it would do what it did, but once I realized that it was a hit, I was like, oh yeah, that's just what's going on. So I just been rolling with the punches with it.
At what point would you say you realized it was a hit?
I had been putting music out, so I had already built up my little TikTok following at the time. So I was always putting music out on TikTok, but once I put it on TikTok, I noticed that it was getting shared a lot on Facebook, and then when it hit on Facebook, it was starting to hit millions of views, and I had never hit millions of views on Facebook at all. So that's when it kind of hit me like, yeah, this is different. This is a different vibe. And then Instagram started going crazy on Instagram. Mind you, I never hit 1 million views on Instagram at all, ever. So it went from like 5,000 followers to like 80,000 followers. So I'm like, it's growing too fast and it's organic. Like we produced the beat literally at the crib. It was a freestyle, you know what I'm saying? And so I just knew it was the one. It's too original. Like you can't replicate it.
For sure. Mm-hmm. I was just getting ready to ask you that. Do you feel it's a formula to making hit records?
For me, I kind of went to the studio with the intention of going to make a hit because I was going through a lot of stuff in life that people probably would never know about. So for me, I was in a place where I was homeless damn near, you know what I'm saying? Hadn't lost my job. Like I had nothing, you know what I'm saying? I'm borrowing money just to go to the studio because I ain't got it. But I was just tired of my situation, and I'm just like, I know if I can, they always say one song can change your life. So I'm like, let me just put something into this next hit, this next song, and kind of just push it out there. And so at the time, I was just looking at ways to, is it marketable on TikTok? Is it relatable? Is it bars hit? And I was real deal strategizing how I'm gonna do it, and it kind of just came out perfect. So I did put a little thought process in it, but I did it because I kind of been doing music for so long, so you kind of just, you figure out the recipe. No,
for sure. Would you say it's hard to make it out of Baxter?
I say it is kind of sort of because it's not a lot of resources down there, especially for people that like to do music type of time. So you're going to have to travel, you're going to have to get out your city, and a lot of times people kind of don't have that guide or that hand to just show them, you know what I'm saying, different ways. But like I said, for me, I was a genius growing up as a kid, so I just kind of knew I was special or different. But I think it's finna change. I think it's finna turn around. It need people like me to kind of show people like it's possible. I don't care how big your dreams is, you can do it. Like real talk.
That's real. What's something you would tell somebody that's watching your interview, that's someone in your situation that might be in a small town in another state, that feel like they can't make it from where they at? What was some game you would give them to give them hope about their situation?
Rule number one for me is consistency. Like that's the number one thing for me. So it may look like you not making no grounds or making no move or nothing like that, but like in a small town, it's hard. Like you gotta really, real deal market yourself. Like I'm talking about put it in their face every single day. I don't care what it takes. I don't care if you're getting 1 like today, 2 likes tomorrow, 3 likes the next day. Every day you gotta keep pushing it and understanding how social media works now, because the game different now. You're not getting in the game how they used to get in the game back, not no more, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta really study algorithms and study what's going on, you know, especially if you wanna be original with it. So just be consistent and be a student of the game. Be open to advice, be open to criticism, like learn, like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna always, it took me years to get to where I'm at. So be patient, be consistent, and literally don't take no for an answer, keep going.
For sure. How do you feel about people that might look in your situation and be like, oh, she got it made, but like you said, it took years to get to where you at?
Man, I think that's just a situation that they just gonna have to just figure out on their own, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you by day ones, you know, like we literally like came from nothing, like the bottom, to the point where we recording for what, 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night, just recording songs, you know what I'm saying? Like, we real deal grinding for it. So if anybody can't see it, it's just, it ain't meant for you to see it. We know what we did, we know what we built, we know what we started, we know what we doing. Like, that's all that matters to us. We know where we came from.
For sure.
So.
What was your first job?
My first job?
What was your first job?
My first job was in like high school. I think I worked at like a daycare or whatever, but like it was a little high school, a small time, part-time job type thing.
Would you regret it?
Nah, at the time, like I said, I was young. I was like probably like 16. So like the little chick I was getting, whatever, it was just buying me food.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't had no bills, so I was just young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At what point would you say what you did with your first check?
My first check, like for my very first job, I don't know, probably gave some to my mom, bought some food, a pair of shoes or something.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Who would you say are some of the artists that inspired you musically?
For me, growing up, like I said, I was young, so like around the age of 11, I'm listening to like Nas, Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nicki, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm real deal Jadakiss, you know what I'm saying? I was like a lyricist, so I like Lil Wayne, they playing with bars all the time, so I was listening to people that really, really real deal had wordplay when I was a kid, so they kind of made me like get more hungrier for it, and then as I kind of kept going, like Rihanna's, the Futures, the Drakes, you know what I'm saying? People that kind of just had their own little style with music and kind of just did it their own way and was successful with it.
That's real.
Yeah.
Do you feel that structure of hip hop is dying out with people coming up with clever bars or witty bars and nowadays?
Yeah, I really do. Like, you still got a few, you know what I'm saying? But at one point, you know, it was just like bars was like important, you know what I'm saying? But
you
now,
be saying something.
Yeah, you had to be saying something that was just like, okay, cool. But I don't know, I feel like it's gonna get back to that point where people gonna start listening to music for creativity again, because it's all starting to sound a little bit too much of the same. Like, who really rapping now, you know what I'm saying? So, and who being cool with it at the same time and putting it all together.
For sure. That you were like, I shouldn't have to go through this?
I don't know, I'm just real big on respect, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my main thing. Like, I'm an energy person, so I really wouldn't have no conflict with people, you know, trying to get anywhere or whatever. Like I said, I'm an energy reader, so if something ain't meant for me, I'm gonna know it ain't meant for me, and I'm just go the other way and just keep it moving, keep it pushing. Like, I'm not a very controversial type of person.
That's real. So besides music, what's some of the other revenues or business you want to focus on?
I don't know. Like right now, I'm on somewhere. I want to get 6 streams of income. Like, I plan on starting like a trucking business. Like, music is my go-to, whatever. But like, I want to really, really like dive into different things. I like to eat, so like maybe like food, restaurants, food trucks, like different stuff like that. That I'm actually like, you know, that I like to do would be something that I would like to get into. But I'm still like trying to figure it out and see what I want like right now though, for sure.
For sure. Let's hear your 6 that you say you got right now.
What, as far as streams of income?
Yeah.
I would look at like merch. Merch is one. Trucking as another one. Don't laugh at me, but like lawnmowing service,
Oh, no,
cutting grass.
That's the one.
Cutting grass, tattooing. I got tattoo artists, like she going crazy. Like different things. Like my mind I think about waking up, I think about how to get money every day, like literally. Even if it's from me opening up my own studio, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I don't know. I'm just like that.
So put it like this. Somebody come to you, right? They fucked up. They need to make $200 by like the end of the week. Mm-hmm. It's Wednesday. What advice you got for them?
They need to make $200?
$200.
By the end of the week?
By the end of the week, and it's Wednesday.
They in Atlanta?
Oh. Yeah, let's say they in Atlanta.
I mean, I'm not gonna say the first one, but I mean, if you in Atlanta, you try to make $200 by the week, you might as well go ahead and watch you some cars, you know what I'm saying? Real talk. Just go ahead and watch you some cars. What you think?
Gets a pack.
A lawnmower, cut some grass. You can make you a good $200 that week for sure. What you think, Twiz? Make $200 a week. Make some beats. Yeah, you can make $200 a week, but yeah, you have to really kind of just do a hustle that's gonna make you some money, like right there and right there. Like if you're a barber, go do you a sale today. You cutting tapes. You doing hair all day for $20. You just got to work all day long.
They got the little water boy selling the water bottle.
I'm trying to
You
tell
know
you, boy,
what I'm
them
saying?
niggas gonna have $200 by the end of the night.
Exactly. I know that I made too.
Or you
Right.
can sell food. You'll definitely make food. You'll definitely make it back selling $200 a week. Some really good food, for sure.
You just gotta have that hustle in you.
You got to have that hustle in you, for sure.
Nah, for sure. So what else you working on right now?
Right now I got Big Move going crazy. My other single, it just dropped not too long ago called Not Me. That's going crazy. Working on some remixes for those. I got an EP that's finna drop in a couple months. And I think right now at this point, Big Move finna just carry me out to the end of the year type time. So it's like I'm on tour right now. I'm going state to state, literally. So it's like I have a lot on my plate, but at the end of the day, like I kind of just want to go with the flow. I don't want to rush it. What's for me is for me. So I just want to trust the process with it all.
No, that's real. Any last words and shout outs?
Nah, just Bri Trilla is really my year. I put in a lot of work. We put in a lot of time. We put in a lot of grind. Like, we really up next. Like FTF, PMG, we really built it like from the ground. It's gonna be a beautiful thing for sure.
Real spill. Bri Trilla, we appreciate having you on the porch with us today.
No problem.
Hey.
For sure.
Nowadays these bitches sick and they gon' turn on you for dick. He be pouring out his heart, I just can't fall in love for shit.